Hey everybody, I'm back with another video today. Today we're going to be changing out the lower ball joints on a 95 Honda Civic EX. There's the ball joint there. Now you see I've already gotten the wheel and the axle nut off. Removed the brake rotor and the brake caliper, and I've zip tied it up to the upper control arm. Now don't do what I'm doing and use a floor jack. It's best to jack the car up and set it on instead of jack stands. I'm going to go ahead and use our trusty pickle fork that we have here, and I'm going to wedge it. I don't know if you can see it here or not. I'm going to wedge it in between the lower control arm and the ball joint, and I'm going to give it a couple taps with the hammer. I actually have a sledgehammer now that I'm going to use. Might work a little better. And it should pop the lower control arm off of the ball joint. Okay, as you can see now, I have the CV axle pulled out of the way, the ball joint separated from the lower control arm. It actually loosened out pretty easily. And if you look here, the old ball joint, you can see how it can just kind of move around. You can spin it with your fingers. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, so here we have the new ball joint for the 95 Civic. And as you can see, I can't even move it back and forth with my fingers. And this here, without the nut on, it actually will not spin like the old ball joint will. We have the gear puller hooked on here and over here on the hub assembly. And then down here, the boot's been torn, so we've moved the boot out of the way, and I've put that middle pin of the gear puller up into the bottom side of that ball joint. And what we're going to do is it's a 17mm socket on mine, and we're just going to start cranking it up with the ratchet, and eventually it will end up pushing the ball joint up out of the hole. Just wanted you guys to see the progress that we've made so far. As you can see, I've already got it to start lifting up out of the hub assembly. And also, if you notice up here, I had my brake caliper hanging over on this side. I was kind of getting to the rush of everything, trying to get it all finished back together before Monday morning when I go to work. So I was actually stretching out this brake line a little too much, so I ended up cutting the zip tie and hanging it off to the other side. So just be careful to not put a lot of strain on this brake line. There's the empty space. There's what it used to be. Now what you're going to want to do next is you're actually going to want to get a shop towel and just kind of clean out around the outside and the inside of where the new ball joint's going to go into. And you're also going to want to get some white lithium grease and just kind of smear it around on the inside of that there, just so that whenever you're going to press the new ball joint in, it'll actually go in a lot smoother and a lot easier. Okay, so now we're going to push in the new ball joint, and as you can see, I've got some grease rubbed on the ball joint itself and inside the hole where the ball joint's going to go. Now, the way we're going to set up the press, you can get them anywhere at your local auto parts store, and this one costs about $100. And so what we're going to do here is it's going to end up, this big C-clamp's end up going to go about right here, sitting on it like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece here, as you see it has the bigger hole, and then this one here with that smaller one, it's going to end up just like that bigger one there with that hole there. And then you're going to take this, I think it's the smallest ring that comes in the kit, and it's going to go just right there on the bottom of that. Now make sure that you have clearance so that it goes right here on the outside, because you don't want to be pressing it in and then catch the boot of your new ball joint and have to redo everything all over again. So make sure it's the one that fits in there, And what this piece is going to go is it's going to sit right on top just like that. You're going to take the clamp and you're going to put it up here on top of the ball joint. And I'm not sure what size socket this is yet, but once I get it set up and I start getting ready to press it in, I'll be able to tell you guys that part. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and press in the new ball joint. Here's the C-clamp set up, ready to press in the new ball joint. And it's actually helpful if you have a friend that can help you out with this, because putting this together by yourself can get a little frustrating if you're not patient with it. What I have here is a 22 millimeter socket. Now I'm going to go ahead and start cranking this down and get the new ball joint pressed in. Also, if you don't have a 22 millimeter socket, you can also use a big adjustable wrench to turn that. Alright, as you can see, I got the ball joint pressed in nicely. So now all I have to do is come down here with some snap ring pliers and install the snap ring onto the new ball joint, and then put everything back together. Okay, so something I do want to point out before I go ahead and put the brake rotor back on is this metal shield right here that goes all the way around. Whenever you're pressing in the new ball joint, you have 3 screws. There's one here, there is actually another one right here, and then there's one more that is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there underneath. And that will actually move this shield out of the way, because if you don't take it off, then whenever you try to press in your new ball joint, it's not going to center up right and it won't go straight down. You don't have to take it off, but what you can do is just take it right here in the bottom and just kind of bend it out towards you and just bend it up a little bit, and that will actually get everything to sit up around that new ball joint so that it'll press in straight. So once you get it all pressed in, make sure before you put on your snap ring that it is level all the way around the bottom of the ball joint. Here's everything. I haven't tightened this nut up yet. I'm going to put the brake rotor back on and set the brake caliper on it and tighten it down. And then my girlfriend's back, so I'm going to have her go ahead and press on the brakes, and I'll more than likely have the wheels set on the ground with the center cap out, and I'm going to have a large breaker bar, and we're going to go ahead and tighten the nut up. And once you have all that, you should be good to go. Just make sure you have all your nuts and bolts tightened, and I hope this video helped you guys out a little bit.